Friends, hello to everyone! Over the years of work, I have often faced questions from people about fear in dogs. Fear is a completely normal reaction. There is no living being that does not feel fear. What is fear? Fear is a system of self-preservation in case of something unknown. That is, when we encounter something new that we do not yet know, a mechanism is activated in us that warns us of danger. We do not know what it is, and we do not know what it is for us. Maybe it will kill us, maybe not. In the first months of Puppy's life, his entire nature is aimed at him adapting to various stimuli and drawing conclusions about what is dangerous for him and what is normal for him. The reasons for fear in an adult dog can be very different. It may simply be a poorly worked out stage of socialization at the first stages of growing up. That is, the dog lived in a poor environment, did not see anything at all, and when he grew up, we began to drag him around different locations, around the city, and the dog reacts inadequately to any manifestations of the outside world. Fear can be banal due to brain defects. Some wrong combination of hormones, some wrong combination of neurotransmitters, which is due to genetics, but unfortunately, these are all very subtle matters, and we almost cannot check why exactly the dog is afraid. In fact, all this is not very important, because in any case, we can significantly affect the feelings of the dog, its condition, its mood, and how the dog relates to the surrounding environment. I would really like to destroy the myth that you should not pity a dog when the dog is afraid. There is a legend that if a dog is afraid and we start talking to it, stroke it, give it treats, we teach it to be afraid, but it doesn't work like that. Because fear is an emotion, not a behavioral pattern. We can teach a dog to sit, stand, lie, come to us, stay near us. We can, in a certain way, teach the dog to receive some emotion associated with some stimuli, but it is unlikely that we will be able to reinforce the fear. By the way, write in the comments if you are able to overcome any fears of your dog. I will be very interested to read. When we train, adapt and socialize a dog, our main task is to attach the right emotion, to evoke the right association associated with a certain stimuli. If our dog is afraid of something at any age, it means that a certain stimulus causes the dog to feel fear. The first thing that we need to explain to the dog is that a certain stimulus does not pose a direct danger directly to it. For this, the dog must meet the stimulus very often, every day, and conclude that the stimulus does not attack me, does not try to harm me, and does not pose any danger. If the stimulus is rare, the fear will rarely return. If the stimulus is encountered every day, the fear will gradually subside, because it is impossible to be afraid all your life. The dog will somehow adapt to the fear. Second, we need to evoke a positive emotion associated with the stimulus. That is, to associate the appearance of a certain stimulus with the dog's internal positive emotions. What does a dog like? The dog likes to eat, the dog likes to play. Of course, not every dog will play in the presence of a terrible stimulus, but if the dog has a good appetite, or if we balance the diet so that the dog is hungry, he will eat treats with great pleasure, provided that the stimulus is at a safe distance. In this way, we constantly train the dog. When you see an irritant that scares you, I start feeding you. And pleasant associations from the fact that the dog absorbs food are associated with the appearance of this irritant. That is, we can make the dog think that every time I see something scary, I better return to my owner and be fed. With systematic, regular repetition, it can work. We will not teach the dog to be even more afraid. The main condition in this case will be a safe distance, because if the stimulus comes too close, the dog will not be able to switch to food or anything else at all. The only mechanism will be activated in the dog to run away, save his life, save his health. So this should not be done. Safe distance and positive associations. We have two examples. Two dogs, which I will now introduce you to, and these dogs are completely different, because we know one girl. This girl is Cane Corso. We have known her story since her very childhood. This girl was born in a normal kennel, got two adequate owners, two very loving people who took care of her and did everything necessary that a quality owner should do. They walk her, they train her, they take her everywhere, to group training, to individual training, to different places. But this dog has fears. Fears of such stimuli as people and sounds. And we can conclude that this fear is not due to bad socialization, because we know this dog, we know its history, and we can think for a long time why this happened. But it happened, and we have a fearful dog that reacts inappropriately to stimuli that appear before her. And we have another case. This is an adult dog who is 3 years old, and this dog spent his entire life on a chain. He had very bad owner who didn't feed him properly and maybe even beat him. He was very neglected. He was not combed, he was in curls, in a very sad condition. He was rescued by zoo volunteers and moved to a shelter. After he was transferred to a shelter, 3 families tried to take him, but they kept returning him because he showed aggression, he bit, he was scared, he barked, and these are all manifestations of fear. Because fear is a mechanism that can easily trigger aggression. That is, I am afraid, I have to defend myself, and I will protect my resource. I will drive away everything that scares me, I will bite everything that approaches me when I sleep or when I eat. And it is very difficult to live with such a dog. It is very difficult to keep it as a companion and as a friend. Two completely different cases, a dog in ideal conditions and a dog in terrible conditions. But the behavior is the same, fear that turns into aggression. The method by which we work is the same in both cases. We develop positive emotions in this dog next to what scares him. The most loyal and friendly atmosphere to make the dog feel relaxed. The maximum amount of positive things related to the owner. The maximum variety of life so that the dog learns and receives various positive experiences. If you do this regularly and systematically, you will in any case improve the condition of your dog. Maybe if it's a genetic defect or this problem is related to the early age of socialization already lost, maybe you won't be able to raise a perfect dog that will be with you everywhere. However, you will be able to greatly increase the level of adaptability of your dog and check in which conditions you can get out with him and in which it is better not to make him nervous and not to annoy him. Therefore, let's summarize. The myth that you can't pet a dog when it's scared is just a myth. On the contrary, we need to associate something positive next to what scares the dog. The main thing is the distance, and the main thing is systematically, and to create conditions in which there will be no conflict and competition with the dog, so that the dog relaxes and calms down. And remember that your inner state, your calmness, and your emotions will be directly transmitted to your dog. Therefore, if you're nervous, if you're fussy, all these emotions will be transmitted to your dog. We work on ourselves, we work on the dog. Subscribe to our channel. I wish you all the best.